Greetings and welcome back to Crime Tales Real. Today we delve into a chilling saga of ambition, power, and the dark underbelly of politics. This is the story of a woman whose hunger for influence led her down a perilous path, ultimately costing her everything. She dared to cross powerful figures, entrenched in the highest echelons of political power. This is an exposé of the murky dealings within the nation's political landscape and the sinister actions of those in white collars. Today's gripping narrative is based on the sensational Bhanwari Devi murder case, a crime that sent shockwaves through the political scene of Rajasthan in 2011. Bhanwari Devi was born in a village in the Kishangarh block of Ajmer district, Rajasthan. Her parents were daily wage laborers, and due to financial constraints, they had to marry off their 3 daughters, including Bhanwari, together. At the time, Bhanwari was just 18 years old. Tragedy struck when Bhanwari's father died in a road accident, leaving the entire family's responsibility on her mother's shoulders. Unable to afford separate weddings, her mother married Bhanwari alongside her 2 elder sisters. Bhanwari completed her 8th grade at a government school in her village. After finishing her studies, she was sent to her husband, Amar Chand, in Barunda village of Jodhpur district. Amar Chand was a driver with a severe drinking problem. Bhanwari Devi's father-in-law, who worked in the health department, helped her secure a job as an auxiliary nurse in the same department in 1999. Bhanwari's posting was in Jaisalmer, far from her in-laws' place. While she took the job, her aspirations lay elsewhere. She harbored big dreams and was determined to fulfill them. This ambition led her to work in Rajasthani films and local music albums, often neglecting her nursing duties. She would go for shoots, chasing her dream of becoming a heroine. Knowing that her frequent absences wouldn't go unnoticed for long, Bhanwari sought to secure her job. Among the influential leaders with whom Bhanwari Devi maintained close ties, a prominent name was Malkhan Singh Bishnoi, the then Congress MLA from Luni. Bhanwari Devi's repeated absence from duty did not sit well with many. In 2009, a complaint was lodged against her, stating that Nurse Bhanwari was consistently absent from her post and did not attend the hospital. An investigation confirmed these allegations, and the collector suspended Bhanwari. Desperate for help, Bhanwari immediately approached MLA Malkhan Singh. The favors she had bestowed upon Malkhan Singh during better times were now her expectation in this adversity. True to his obligation, Malkhan Singh took Bhanwari Devi to Mahipal Maderna, the son of a prominent Rajasthan Congress leader, Parasram Maderna. At that time, the Congress held power in Rajasthan, with Ashok Gehlot as the chief minister, and Mahipal Maderna was a cabinet minister, holding the water resources portfolio. For a leader wielding such significant ministerial power, revoking Bhanwari's suspension was no major hurdle. However, this act of assistance would later come at a price for Bhanwari, a price she ultimately paid. Bhanwari Devi got her job back, and she was also transferred to a hospital near her in-laws' place, as per her preference. Following this incident, Bhanwari Devi and Mahipal Maderna grew extremely close, disregarding all boundaries of relationships and propriety. Amidst these illicit relations, Bhanwari Devi was a mother of 3 daughters. In a short span, she amassed considerable wealth, acquiring multiple houses and cars. It is said that Bhanwari would buy jewelry worth millions every year. These houses, cars, clothes, and expensive jewelry could never have been afforded on a nurse's salary. A nurse with a modest income could never have sustained such a lavish lifestyle. Gradually, Bhanwari Devi's desires grew and greed consumed her. She became increasingly ambitious with time. To fulfill her ambitions and desires, she embarked on a dangerous path, choosing shortcuts. She began demanding a ticket to contest the upcoming MLA elections from the Bhopalgarh seat from both Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh Bishnoi. However, both leaders only offered her false assurances instead of a ticket. Bhanwari felt betrayed, and soon her infatuation with Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh Bishnoi faded. She then resorted to another tactic, blackmail. Meanwhile, another significant player had entered this dangerous game alongside Bhanwari Devi. This player was none other than Indira Bishnoi, Malkhan Singh Bishnoi's sister. Indira Bishnoi held the position of a supervisor in the child development department. She was well aware of the nature of the relationship between her brother and Bhanwari. However, Indira was not at all troubled by her brother Malkhan's affair with Bhanwari. In fact, Indira would address Bhanwari as her sister-in-law. This gesture of calling Bhanwari her sister-in-law and aligning with her clearly indicated Indira's own gains and selfish motives. In simple terms, Indira Bishnoi wanted to see her brother Malkhan Singh become a minister, which could only happen if Mahipal Maderna relinquished his ministerial post. But Mahipal Maderna would never even dream of doing so. To fulfill this aspiration, Indira made Bhanwari her pawn. She started instigating Bhanwari against Mahipal Maderna, urging her to do something that would create a political earthquake in the country. At Indira Bishnoi's behest, Bhanwari secretly recorded a 52-minute-long video of her intimate moments with Mahipal Maderna and secured it on a CD. Now, Indira wanted Bhanwari to hand over that CD, but Bhanwari did not. In those days, Bhanwari Devi had become well-versed in the intricacies of politics. She knew that for people like Indira, Malkhan, and Mahipal Maderna, she was merely a pawn. Once their purpose was served, they would discard her like a fly in milk. She understood the true value of that 52-minute video CD. Following this, Bhanwari started blackmailing Mahipal Maderna, demanding millions of rupees in exchange for the CD. Bhanwari certainly did not want the CD involving Mahipal Maderna to be leaked. If the CD went public, she would gain nothing, and her entire carefully constructed game would fall apart. As long as the CD remained hidden, she could get all her demands met. Not only that, contrary to Indira Bishnoi's plan, Bhanwari also dragged her brother Malkhan Singh into this CD scandal. She claimed to possess a video CD of Malkhan Singh as well, although she had no such CD. Bhanwari only made this claim to put pressure on Malkhan Singh. But Malkhan Singh was indeed frightened by Bhanwari's assertion. Bhanwari had a long-standing illicit relationship with Malkhan Singh. Bhanwari claimed that the father of her youngest daughter was not her husband Amar Chand, but MLA Malkhan Singh. To prove this, Bhanwari Devi even agreed to a DNA test. She threatened Malkhan Singh, saying she would reveal the truth about this illegitimate child in a public gathering if Malkhan Singh, as a father, did not provide her youngest daughter with 20 kilograms of gold jewelry and 5 million rupees for her wedding. Minister Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh needed to save their political careers, so they immediately distanced themselves from Bhanwari Devi, ceasing all communication and refusing to answer her calls. Seeing her claims and threats being ignored in this manner, Bhanwari Devi became enraged. In her fury, Bhanwari Devi reached Mahipal Maderna's Jaipur residence. She forcibly entered his house and created a scene. In response to Bhanwari's uproar, she was assaulted and forcibly evicted from Mahipal Maderna's residence. After this incident, Bhanwari Devi became like a wounded tigress. In July 2011, she directly approached the BJP office, where she revealed that she possessed a video CD involving MLA Malkhan Singh and Minister Mahipal Maderna, which could topple the Rajasthan government within 3 days. According to a Deccan Herald report, Bhanwari cleverly leaked some intimate snapshots from the video CD to local news channels and a newspaper. While she did not directly name any leader or minister, she provided enough clues to suggest that the pictures were of Mahipal Maderna. The next day, this became major news in the media, and the Rajasthan Congress government's stability began to waver. The storm that Bhanwari Devi had unleashed brought both Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh to their knees. The two leaders, who had distanced themselves from Bhanwari, contacted her once again. A deal was struck between the three. Bhanwari would hand over the CD in exchange for 5 million rupees. Mahipal Maderna gave Bhanwari 250,000 rupees as an advance and promised to pay the remaining amount in September 2011. Bhanwari Devi was satisfied with this deal. Once again, there was no bitterness or resentment among the three. Bhanwari Devi was completely unaware that she had reached into a viper's nest. She had no idea what the consequences of her actions would be. She was oblivious to the fact that a different script was being written in the circuit house of Jodhpur. At that time, Bhanwari Devi owned a Maruti Swift car, which she had sold in August 2011 to a very close acquaintance, Sohanlal Bishnoi, for 450,000 rupees. Sohanlal had already given Bhanwari an advance of 50,000 rupees. Sohanlal was a contractor by profession and the nephew of MLA Malkhan Singh's aunt. Moreover, Sohanlal was also very close to Minister Mahipal Maderna. The first day of September 2011 arrived. Sohanlal Bishnoi called Bhanwari Devi on September 1st and informed her that he wanted to pay the remaining amount for the Maruti Swift. He also told Bhanwari that she would receive the remaining amount for the CD from Raju Bhai, a man sent by Mahipal Maderna, on the same day. However, Raju Bhai would first review the CD, and only if it was genuine would he pay the remaining money? Sohanlal asked her to meet Raju Bai in Bilara. At 1 p.m. on September 1st, 2011, Bhanwari Devi left her home for Bilara with the CD. In Bilara, she met Sohanlal Bishnoi, who made her sit with him in a Mahindra Bolero. He introduced Bhanwari to a man sitting in the Bolero named Raju Bai. Bhanwari was supposed to give the CD to Raju Bai, in exchange for which he would give her the remaining money. But Bhanwari Devi, who had come to Bilara with Sohanlal and Raju Bai, dreaming of receiving millions of rupees, was merely a part of a script written by Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh. Sohanlal's calling Bhanwari to Bilara to pay the remaining money for the car, and Mahipal Maderna's 5 million rupee deal for the CD were all scripted. Bhanwari Devi had become a significant threat to Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh, one that could potentially ruin their political careers. Therefore, a script was written to ensnare Bhanwari Devi. According to that script, bait was first thrown her way, and then, by showing her the dream of millions, she was trapped. Bhanwari Devi was completely unaware that the person she knew as Raju Bai, whom she considered a wealthy friend of Mahipal Maderna, was no ordinary man, but a notorious criminal from Rajasthan, and his real name was Shahabuddin. He had been tasked with retrieving the CD from Bhanwari Devi at any cost. There was a CD player in the Bolero car. As the Bolero sped down the road, the 52-minute CD of Bhanwari Devi and Mahipal Maderna's intimate moments was played. Raju Bai, alias Shahabuddin, watched the entire CD while the car was in motion. The CD narrated the story of the intimate relationship between Mahipal Maderna and Bhanwari Devi. A Maruti Swift car, in which Raju Bai's trusted associate Baldev was seated, followed the Bolero. Sohanlal and Shahabuddin drove Bhanwari around for hours. As evening approached, Bhanwari started to panic. She insisted on getting her money from Raju Bai and going home. However, Sohanlal and Raju Bai, alias Shahabuddin, had other intentions. They diverted the car from the route to Bhanwari's house towards an unknown path, making Bhanwari suspect that she was in grave danger. She started screaming for help in the Bolero and struggled to get out of the car. Seeing this, Shahabuddin's associate, Baldev, got out of the Maruti Swift and entered the Bolero. Now, the three of them together forcibly tried to silence Bhanwari. Shahabuddin, Sohanlal, and Baldev forcibly pushed Bhanwari down under the seat, and to prevent her from getting up and crying for help, held her down with their feet. Due to this, Bhanwari Devi began to suffocate and soon died from asphyxiation. Seeing Bhanwari Devi dead, all three were in a state of shock. They had not been ordered to kill Bhanwari Devi. Rather, they were instructed to hand her over alive to someone. Now that the deed was done, they had to somehow dispose of Bhanwari's body. This is where some new characters who had been involved in this game for a long time entered the scene. One of these characters was Sahi Ram. This was the person who had written the entire script for Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh. Minister Gopal Maderna had tasked Sahi Ram with retrieving the CD from Bhanwari. According to an Amar Ujala report, Sahi Ram was the main conspirator in this story, and a person named Umesh Ram was assisting Sahi Ram in this task. These two characters were guiding Shahabuddin, alias Raju Bhai, and Sohanlal on when, what, and how to do things. After the news of the CD surfaced, there were approximately 21 phone conversations between Mahipal Maderna and Sahi Ram between July 23rd and 26th, while there were 31 conversations between Sohanlal and Maderna. After Bhanwari's death, Shahabuddin and Sohanlal contacted Sahi Ram. Then, Sahi Ram instructed them to take Bhanwari's body to Jalore. Sohanlal, Shahabuddin, and his associate Baldev reached Jalore with Bhanwari's body. Here, they were supposed to meet Vishnuram and hand her over alive, but Bhanwari was already dead. Upon seeing Bhanwari's body, Vishnuram refused to take it. When Vishnuram refused to take the body, he received a call from a powerful person. He was told that if he successfully disposed of the body, he would receive a reward of his choosing, and the SSP who was troubling him and his gang would also be transferred. At that time, several cases of kidnapping, extortion, and other crimes were registered against Vishnuram with the police. Vishnuram agreed. Around 9 p.m., he took Bhanwari's body from Sohanlal and Shahabuddin. Then, along with his three associates, Ashok, Kailash, and Om Prakash, he set out to dispose of Bhanwari's body in a deserted area. Vishnuram and his associates were traveling in a Scorpio. They stopped their vehicle in a secluded area of Jalore. After this, They placed Bhanwari's body in a pit and set it on fire. When the body was completely burnt, they carefully collected the remaining ashes and threw them into a nearby canal. No one saw Bhanwari Devi after September 1st, 2011. 12 days after Bhanwari went missing, on September 13th, Amar Chand filed a report about his wife's disappearance at his local police station. He told the police that his wife had been missing since September 1st and that he suspected the involvement of Water Resources Minister Mahipal Maderna and MLA Malkhan Singh Bishnoi in her disappearance. Amar Chand also informed the police that Minister Mahipal Maderna would frequently call his wife Bhanwari. He had even asked Minister Mahipal Maderna not to call Bhanwari repeatedly, but he had continued to do so. This news reached the media, which immediately picked it up. The politics of Rajasthan began to heat up, with a series of accusations and counter-accusations between the opposition and the ruling party. The matter escalated because Bhanwari's name had previously been linked with Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh. Everyone suspected that Bhanwari Devi had been disappeared to suppress the CD she claimed to possess. There was immense pressure from the people of Rajasthan and opposition parties on the state government to conduct an impartial investigation into the matter, especially since it involved two prominent leaders of the Congress. Finally, on September 15, 2011, the Rajasthan government handed over the investigation of this case from the Rajasthan police to the CBI. On September 23rd, a Rajasthan court directed the government to register an FIR against Mahipal Maderna. Following this, on October 16, 2011, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot dismissed Mahipal Maderna from his ministerial post. Subsequently, Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh were also expelled from the Congress party. On October 22, 2011, the CBI achieved a major breakthrough. On that day, Shahabuddin, alias Raju Bai, surrendered to the police. After this, the knots in the Bhanwari Devi case began to unravel one by one. The CBI knew that Bhanwari Devi had been murdered as part of a larger conspiracy, but they could only prove her murder if they found her body. On November 3, 2011, the CBI obtained its first piece of evidence, a 4-minute phone recording between Bhanwari Devi and Indira Bishnoi. In this recording, Bhanwari Devi and Indira Bishnoi were discussing the deal for the CD. After this, the video CD itself also reached media channels and newspapers, showing Minister Mahipal Maderna in a compromising position with Bhanwari Devi. This CD created a sensation across the country. Bhanwari Devi knew that a conspiracy could be hatched against her, so she had made several copies of the CD to ensure that Mahipal Maderna could not escape if anything happened to her. One of these CDs she had hidden in a bank locker in Ajmer. Later, the CBI recovered that CD from the bank locker. The main conspirator in Bhanwari Devi's abduction and murder, Sahi Ram, and his associate Umesh Ram, were also apprehended by the CBI. During the CBI's interrogation, Mahipal Maderna confessed to his relationship with Bhanwari. On December 2, 2011, the CBI filed its preliminary charge sheet, and on the same night, the CBI arrested Mahipal Maderna. After Mahipal Maderna's arrest, the CBI made another arrest, and this arrest was of someone close to Bhanwari. On December 8, 2011, the CBI also arrested Bhanwari's husband, Amar Chand. Yes, according to the CBI, Amar Chand was also involved in the conspiracy to abduct and murder Bhanwari Devi, and this became the reason for his arrest. Not only strangers, but also her own people betrayed Bhanwari, stabbing her in the back. The CBI stated that when Bhanwari was going to meet Sohanlal on September 1st to finalize the CD deal, Amar Chand knew what was going to happen to Bhanwari. Amar Chand had calculated that if anything happened to Bhanwari, he would get the money she was supposed to receive. That's why he colluded with Bhanwari's enemies. However, after Bhanwari's death, he didn't receive a single penny from anyone. On December 19, 2011, Malkhan Singh was also arrested. Some members of Malkhan Singh's family were also involved in this case. They were later apprehended as well. Soon, Om Prakash, Vishnuram's associate, who had disposed of Bhanwari's body, was also caught by the police. Later, Vishnuram and another associate of his, Kailash, were also arrested. One of Vishnuram's associates, Ashok, surrendered to the police on January 17, 2012. All of them confessed their crimes to the CBI. Vishnuram, Kailash, and Om Prakash took the investigating officers to the place where they had disposed of Bhanwari. They showed the investigation team the pit where they had burned Bhanwari, and then the canal where they had thrown the remains of her body. Following this, the CBI immediately began searching the canal. After 4 days of intense effort and searching, the CBI found crucial evidence in the canal. From the canal, the CBI recovered Bhanwari Devi's teeth, some parts of her skull, her toe rings, earrings, a locket, and a waterproof wristwatch. The watch was still running at that time. The CBI also found a sack, a large knife, 2 country-made pistols, and a wooden bat in the same canal. The bat had been used to break Bhanwari's skull. Bhanwari Devi's son identified the earrings, toe rings, watch, and other recovered items from the canal as belonging to his mother. In this way, the CBI, without succumbing to any pressure, solved this case in just 100 days. It was an excellent piece of work by the CBI. Subsequently, the CBI sent Bhanwari's burnt bones and teeth, along with blood samples of Bhanwari's son and daughter, to the FBI in America for DNA matching to ascertain if these remains were indeed of Bhanwari Devi. The FBI, in its investigation, confirmed that the bones and teeth found in the canal belonged to the 36-year-old Bhanwari Devi. This confirmed that Bhanwari Devi was dead, whereas before the FBI investigation, forensic experts at AIMS had claimed that the bones found in the canal were of animals. Now, all the facts related to Bhanwari Devi were crystal clear. After all these revelations, arrests, and the recovery of evidence, the CBI filed its second charge sheet. In the charge sheet, along with other accused, Mahipal Maderna and Malkhan Singh were charged with murder, kidnapping, criminal conspiracy, and destruction of evidence. At the same time, Bhanwari's husband, Amar Chand, was charged with criminal conspiracy, destruction of evidence, and kidnapping. Last of all, Malkhan Singh's sister, Indira Bishnoi, was arrested. Indira was apprehended by the CBI in 2017. She had been on the run for 6 years. Indira Bishnoi was also accused of conspiracy in Bhanwari's abduction and murder. Currently, this case is stalled in court. The FBI DNA expert who examined Bhanwari Devi's bones found in the canal was not presented in court by the CBI until 2021. Due to this, the case remained pending in court for a long time. Without the testimony of that DNA expert, the CBI's case would be weakened. The CBI had requested the court to take the testimony of that DNA expert via video conference, but the court rejected the CBI's request, insisting on the physical presence of the DNA expert in court. Ultimately, the CBI could not produce that DNA expert in court. Now, this case will proceed without the testimony of the FBI DNA expert, which will weaken the CBI's case. A total of 17 accused were named in the Bhanwari Devi case, and by 2022, all 17 accused had been granted bail. The main accused in the Bhanwari Devi murder case, Mahipal Maderna, passed away at the age of 69 on October 17, 2021, at his residence in Jodhpur due to cancer. So, that was today's story. We will meet again soon in the next video with a new story.